Hello and welcome to another week of TV. It's all we've got. I am Lauren Danikian and I'm joined by my dad, George Danikian.
G'day, g'day.
How are you going, Dad?
Not too bad. I've overdosed on television studios this week.
We can't all say that.
Well, it's 3.5 hours in front of
it's-
a camera. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Huge studio in Sydney. It was great fun.
Must have felt really good to get back into an actual studio,
Yes, it
after all this
was.
time of
It
being in
was.
lockdown.
And you know what was really fantastic? I caught up with cameramen and production staff that used to work with me at Channel 9 and
Yep.
at Channel 10. So it was like
Wow.
Back to the Future.
my
A fantastic
gosh.
opportunity to meet so many great people behind the scenes,
Mm.
to catch up with them and reminisce about football. That's the round ball code. And if you've got a moment, about 3.5
Yeah.
hours, check it out. It's on
Some
YouTube.
people do.
It's on YouTube. It's under the title Australian Football Legacy. Or you can grab it on Facebook. And again, I think it's available through the websites of Football Australia. So it's there, Australian Football Legacy, and I
Awesome.
was part of it. Yeah, bit of fun.
That's so cool.
I didn't get a chance to talk about claws. Didn't get a chance to
Oh,
talk
well,
about.
that's okay. That's what today's for.
Oh, right. Okay.
Let's get into it, shall
All
we?
right. Let's explain what we're doing and why we're here,
Yeah.
and where you can
Yeah.
find us if you've just crashed in and wondered what is happening here.
Yeah, what am I listening to? Why are these two people just talking at me?
Yeah.
So, if you haven't already noticed, the gentleman that I'm speaking to, George Danikian, is in fact my dad. And we have had a difficult kind of relationship in that we were separated by a state for quite a long period of time.
Couple of states.
And really didn't. Well, yeah, different states. It just won't. We won't just blame Adelaide. There was definitely.
There was
time
Adelaide. There
when
was
Melbourne was in there as
Yeah,
well.
we've just kept you guessing, haven't we?
Yeah. And so Dad and I haven't really had the opportunity to get to know each other as well as we would like.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so we thought, well, why not take the opportunity? This was all happening whilst we were in lockdown, to make the most of the time where we are pretty much doing nothing and get to know each other. And then I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we did it through the one thing that bonds us, TV and movies? And so here we are. And so this week, Dad gave me a TV show called Titans, which is on Netflix. And I was terrified because I thought it was going to be something about football. So clearly very, very wrong. For those of you that haven't already figured it out, Dad is very much into sport and I am not. So I always freak out that he's going to give me something sports related and I'm just going to be sitting there going, I don't know what's going on. But no, not the case with this. Titans, for those of you that haven't seen it, now streaming on Netflix, is the story of Robin. And
Yes, the Robin to Batman. It's part of the DC comic universe.
Yes.
So you got Marvel on one side and you got DC Comics on the other.
Yeah. Now, I have to say, as a kid, I was very much into Batman. I loved Batman.
Ooh.
And I watched all the movies of Batman, right?
Yep.
Like every single one of them. And we didn't have, we had Marvel comics, but we didn't have Marvel shows when I was little. And if we did, they were probably cartoons and I wasn't really into them because it was fighting and stuff.
Yeah, the only cartoons you ever liked were Nemo, Shrek.
No.
Freeze.
I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid.
Oh, no, it was a movie.
Do you remember? Yeah, that was a movie.
We went
to
the premiere, the world premiere of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Sydney.
Yeah, but they would also do TV, like animated series.
Yeah, but we went to
the
actual movie.
Yeah. Well, one of the many movies.
One of the many.
Because they've tried to redo it, and it's just, the original will always be the best as far as I'm concerned.
Correct. Yeah.
Anyway, so this TV series, I feel like I really had to get reacquainted with that side of me that was younger and loved Batman and understood the story of Robin and all the other, evil characters that come along with that, who live in Gotham.
Penguin.
Penguin, the Joker, the
The
Riddler.
Joker.
And I mean, there's obviously been new ones that have been introduced. And I shouldn't really say they're new, because to people that have actually read the comic books, they're not new, they're old. But for me, kind of entering in this world as I am,
Or re-entering.
or re-entering,
Yeah.
I'm being introduced to a whole lot of new characters that I've never heard of before. And so Titans really, it gives you a bit of back history on the characters that are involved and how they've kind of come to the place that they're at right now. So it's very interesting, but I was kind of like hesitant, because I went, oh, I don't really know who this person is, and since when is this person a character, and why are they wearing a weird costume? Like, what are their powers? You know, are they good? Are they bad? So I don't know if I missed something for not having watched anything first, but it is an interesting show.
I'm glad. The characters all have a unique set of skills. So skill sets, are shared around. They all have strengths and weaknesses. Robin, of course, the Grayson that we speak about,
Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
What about Dick Grayson?
Yeah. He's gone through his various moods. He also had a huge problem with how he fell out with Batman. And of course, the Batman here is a very different one to the ones that has been portrayed for so long, because this is, as you say, this is your reintroduction to those DC characters, but it's also a more modern take on these characters. Have been around, 60, 70 years. So we have to modernize it. That's what the creators have done. It's been very clever. They use a whole lot of new technology to showcase action characters, or graphic novels. They bring them to life in a way that was never possible before. Before you were born, it was either animation or it just didn't happen. So
that's right.
In the time that you've been on this planet, cinema and television has changed quite markedly. And some people love it. Some people absolutely hate it. They don't like, character generated characters. They don't like this, that, and the other. If it's not real, they don't want to see it. Yeah. But I think it's a fresh modern take on a great old series of stories, and new characters thrown in, as you say. And I think it stands up pretty well.
Yeah, it was really interesting because, like I was saying, I remember Batman as a TV show first. That was done years and years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And Robin was in, and I clearly remember to this day, yellow, green, and red. That was his outfit, right? They were the colors, and black as well. This lot are a lot darker. And I'm not just saying that in terms of their uniform or their costume, but also in terms of the background of these characters.
Oh, yeah.
They've all really struggled and are coming from this place of darkness and have come together to be something stronger.
I love the fact that you've picked up on that darkness. It's a darker world. It's a more sinister world. It's a more complicated world. And the portrayals, the filter that we see it through, you're right, it's not
so dark,
bright and gay. It's very much darker, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And there were definitely times in fight scenes where I didn't quite know who was fighting who because I couldn't see the screen. It was so dark.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that a good person or a bad person? I don't know.
Who landed the best punch? Yes, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I had similar sort of feeling when I was watching the show that you threw at me, that I thought, oh, this must be a wrestling show, and then it dawned on me that maybe it wasn't a wrestling show. Maybe it was a show about Christmas, Claus, Santa Claus. And then it dawned on me that, no, you don't spell it with a K, mate. You spell it with a C. So I went to Claus, and lo and behold, what did I find? Lauren Danikian
Yeah.
You threw me into the world of pedicure and manicure like I have never seen before.
Yeah.
I have some
Yeah.
very good friends of mine who are great manicurists and pedicurists. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you that if they were to watch this show, they would feel that they've missed out for the last 20 years.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Wow.
They could have been getting into so much more than just nails.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a
Yeah.
story that takes place in Florida. Bunch of women come together, and boy, where do you find these colorful girls that have so much to offer? Not. They bring an array of talents, skills, and craziness. They manage to navigate their way, sometimes not so safely, through various parts of the extended mafia family around the world. They could be Italians, they could be Russians, they could be anybody, but they're there. And it seems to me in America, it's like this pecking order. There's a, what's the word I want? Each and every city, it seems to me, has its own version of the mafia. And they all come and, of course, behave very differently. And they all do it in the most wonderfully free and uncomplicated country in the world, America.
It was a little bit of tongue in cheek there, I imagine.
No complications in this show. Wow.
No.
And talk about color and fashion.
Yeah.
You have fashion. You have color. You have. I've learned more about gels and creams than I ever thought I could find out.
Yeah.
But there you go. It's a whole new world. Claws, and it just lights you up.
Yeah, it's a really interesting show. I watched a few of the first episodes just to kind of remember
refresh.
Refresh, yes. Yeah. And I remembered why I loved it. And it is
You needed a reminder, did you?
You can't watch it and take it seriously. It is very much a soap kind of, I guess, genre where everything is bigger than it has to be. And the story is mainly about Desna, who is a nail shop owner, and the family that she has created in the nail shop, in the nail salon, and what they have to do for Desna to be able to open up her own nail salon. So they get into some tricky business and they deal with some crazy people. There is somebody that dies and there is a funeral.
Don't say too much.
Funeral, hang on, Dad.
Okay.
This funeral you need to see to believe, because there are strippers, there are pole dancers, there is every kind of person that you can see.
And there are pallbearers too.
And there are pallbearers who are walking the street to celebrate this person's life. And there is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And it is by far one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen. It's what also fascinates me is that I've seen some of the characters before, some of the actors. Yes.
And I know Carrie Preston from The Good Fight and also Justified, which I really loved. And she's played really seriously quirky characters. She does another good job in this one.
Yeah. Isn't she amazing?
Oh, she
And then
is
also
amazing.
Judy Reyes, who is Quiet Anne.
Oh.
And the name really just says all you need to know. Has been in so many other shows before, and I've seen her do so many great things. This is a whole new character for her. Like, she just kind of gets to sit back and watch everything fall apart. And I live for it. Like, I just think she's such a great character.
There's another one called Karueche Tran.
Oh yeah.
She's a producer in one life, but she's an actress. And she brings a whole new flavor and a whole new look. And I think the one thing you can't run away from, Claws puts together a look that you can't mistake.
Yeah.
If we're going to a smorgasbord, that's about what you're going to get offered on Claws. You're going to be able to, you're going to be able to get around that whole show and pick and choose what you want to enjoy.
Yeah.
Because there's something there for everybody.
Yeah. And it's all of it. All of it at once is what you get with Claws.
Yes. Claws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far did you get through it?
I'm still getting through it. But it's like this avalanche. You keep wanting to. Am I at the end? Oh, look. Oh, wow, there's another one. Okay, let's go
another
for
twist and turn.
Oh, where is it going now? Look, rich, crazy, zoomy. I've even identified some characters that I first saw on NCIS Hawaii.
Yeah.
The really smart, nerdy guy. Here he is, right in the middle, playing a completely different character in Claws. So you'll identify with a great many of them. You'll be entranced by a whole bunch of new characters or new actors that have been given a vehicle to, flex their muscles. It's like watching stand up, and you got a whole new crop of youngies, and some of them are wild.
This cast isn't that young, which I think is what I really enjoy about it.
They're young to me because there are some faces I have no idea. I've never seen them before.
Yeah.
So and again, it could be because I've never been thrown into that genre and been asked to watch anything like that. In other words, I haven't been ambushed by anyone other than my daughter, who said, "Dad, you're going to go and see Claws."
Yeah, this is very down and dirty. It's very much peeking inside the life of what could be if you were a part of the mafia. And so it addresses a lot of issues like domestic violence and theft and
attitudes to life, and how they bond, how they struggle. Look, it has some redeeming features.
Yeah.
Let me think. Let me see how many I can remember.
Probably just Karuchi Tran.
Yeah. They support one another.
Yeah, and it really is a girl boss kind of show.
Oh, chick flick.
I don't think it's a chick flick.
No, I just threw that out there to see how much of it you would bat back at me.
No, but I think, if you want to watch a TV show that's about a lot of strong women who know exactly who they are and aren't willing to budge or change, then this is a TV show for you.
I saw James Bond's latest the other day, which I'm going to get you to watch if you haven't seen it. And sure enough, you're on the money. The world is changing. And with that in tow and with that in your mind, firmly in your mind, you and I have discussed how one of the first movies out of Hollywood that made a statement and said, women, they're not there just to perv at. They're not there just to look at. They have a huge role to play. It was Wonder Woman, remember? Gal Gadot came along, and they had a female director, producers. More than 2/3 of the cast were female, and all strong, vital. And of course, it was an outstanding success, right? So what's followed is a wave, and it's gone through streaming television, through HBO and others. If you look very carefully, Game of Thrones, it was Cersei and Daenerys. So strong women, winning women, leading women. And here we see a new crop, in my eyes, of strong characters who can pick up a gun. They can fire a gun. Maybe they can even hit a target.
Maybe they could throw a few punches.
Well, exactly. So check it out if you haven't had a chance to see it. If you're wild enough, if you're bold enough, if you're brave enough to throw out some of the old conventions and take on a whole new type of streaming TV program, Claws. And we're not talking Santa.
No, definitely not. Talking these babies, your nails.
Ew. Yeah. Manicurists.
And did you know
pedicure. Oh, go on.
Sorry, I just want to
Did
say,
they do
going
their own
back
nails?
yes, they do. Oh, well, probably not the cast themselves. They would have nail technicians.
So,
but, well, they're different. Their nails are different in every scene. It's amazing. But anyway.
And color and movement and design.
Oh, they're amazing. They're amazing.
There must be people out there who they have commissioned to come up with fresh ideas about nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
New gels.
Yeah.
Look at my daughter's eyes. They're transfixed. Look at that. You're actually into this show, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I love it. I live for it.
Yeah. I'll stick with Witcher and Titans. You can stay with Claws.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, what I wanted to say to you was, did you know that the guy that plays Robin, or Dick Grayson, in Titans is Australian?
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, he's Australian.
No.
Isn't that crazy? Yes.
Have we found another Australian that doesn't speak Australian? Thank God he doesn't use an Australian accent. If I hear one more Australian accent on American television, I'm leaving.
Well, the funny thing was, I didn't figure out that he was Australian until he was like, Bruce.
Oh, please. Are you sure you're not having me on? That
didn't sound very American, Bruce. And so I checked who he was. Yeah. And he's in fact Australian. Isn't that crazy?
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. I don't think I've seen him in anything else, but he's in this. His name is Brenton Thwaites.
My God.
He's an Australian actor.
Well, you could have fooled me. He does a tremendous job. What's he done before? What's his hit list look like?
Well, Blue Lagoon, Gods of Egypt.
No, there's another one. There's another one I've missed. Blue Lagoon. Right? Blue Lagoon. So, no. Yeah. Well, that you could blind swipe me with that one. That's a goal for Lauren Danikian over her father, who used to be a goalkeeper. She scored a terrific goal, that one. I didn't see that coming. Yeah. Never sensed that he was an Australian lurking under.
No, right?
Yeah, no. Well,
not an inkling until he said Bruce.
All right. Okay. Good.
So what have you got for me next week?
Well, are you up for a little bit of young James Bond?
Yes.
Okay.
Give it to me. Lay it on me.
Alex Rider.
Alex
on
Rider.
Amazon Prime.
Okay. We're hitting up Amazon Prime.
Very good.
Okay, cool.
Repeat after me. Very, very good. I didn't imagine that Alex Rider would rope me in and keep me. It's 2 series only at the moment. And I've watched both. And like what I see. Interesting story. It's in the genre of MI6, spooks, all that sort of stuff. And they introduce you to a young man called Alex Rider. And the rest you'll have to tell me about next week, Lauren.
Cool.
So what you got for Dad?
Cool. Well, this is the one you've been building up for quite some time. Correct? I've kind of had it in my back pocket. And I've just decided that this week is the week. There's been a lot of talk about it. And so I really, really want you to watch it.
What is it?
It's on the Disney Channel. Oh. And it's called Encanto.
What?
Encanto.
Encanto. E-N-C-A-R-T-O.
No. E-N-C-A-N-T-O. It's enchanted, but in Spanish.
Enchanted. It's on Disney,
but it's in
is
Spanish.
It? It's on Disney?
Yes, it is.
I'm writing it down because I wouldn't have remembered. Encanto.
It's one of their latest movies to drop. So it kind of
just tell me it's not animated, is it?
It is animated, yep.
You're challenging your father. Is this for all the things that I didn't do right when you were growing up?
Yes.
This payback.
This is for all the musical cartoons that you missed. But you're
But
lucky because these ones are really good.
Schmigadoon.
Week 1.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Wouldn't you
When was
think
the
I've
last time I
paid my
gave you a
dues?
musical?
What?
When was the last time I gave you a musical?
Week 3. Yeah. So I want you to keep it very, very low rotation musicals, okay? Unless it's Yankee Doodle Dandy with James Cagney. Have you seen Yankee Doodle Dandy?
I don't know. I probably have, because Channel 7 would probably air it on a Saturday or a Sunday,
I'm thinking
Black
as
and white.
payback. Write this down. Next week, I'm going to ask you to find Jimmy Cagney and Yankee Doodle Dandy.
You're going to give me a musical next week. Is that what you're saying?
I'm going to give you a legit musical. So that's for you next week. And I jumped the gun. I'm sorry for jumping the shark a week early, but I want you to prepare. I don't want you to come up with any excuses. Oh, I can't find it, Dad. You'll find it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. So Encanto for Dad.
Yeah.
And you're going Alex Rider.
Alex Rider.
On Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Good. I like it.
Okay. Yeah.
See you next week.
Well, see you same time next week. Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye.
Bye.